Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to end a video, and this is a paid request for Devon. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. I'll get to it as soon as I can. It could be for pretty much any type of video. And Devon wanted me to look at the Jackie Chan film Ride On from 2023. Made by a guy that I know the guy has done dramas. He's not really known for action, but I guess he really wanted to do this ode to stuntmen and really wanted Jackie to star in it. I will say that, like, this film, I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay. It is a bit long in the tooth. It's a little, about 2 hours and such. I do think the film has a lack of focus, where it's trying to be a bit too many things at once. It wants to be the story about a stuntman played by Jackie Chan. Let me set up the plot first. Jackie, long ago, did this stunt that hurt himself. He's been out of commission for a while. He has this horse. And now he makes money where him and the horse, they take pictures, and hey, you want to take a picture with the horse? He'll do some tricks here and there. But one day he has a lot of debt, and these debt collectors come in and try to attack him. He fends them off. It gets posted online. That helps reinvigorate his career of getting more work as a stuntman. So he's trying to be a story about an aging stuntman that realizes he's a bit too old for the game, and basic decision of whether to quit or not, when to step down or not. Then it's supposed to be this drama about a father reconnecting with his daughter, because his daughter, which he hasn't seen in a while, kind of becomes his agent. And so ups and downs, where at one point he pisses off his daughter's fiance's parents, but then she sees that he had all this like CCTV footage of her, which I think is a bit creepy. I got all this security footage of you and I just stared at you. But to her it's endearing. I'm like, okay. Hopefully he wasn't trying to kidnap you. But then it's also trying to be this comedy with the horse, where I would say the horse is the best actor in the movie. Like, the best performance was the horse. The way they had the horse trained to have certain movements of the head and the face and the tricks it would do. This is one bit, I don't know how they did it, where pieces of the village are exploding. It's a stunt for a movie, and the horse is running in between all these explosions. And there's like an explosion that almost hits the horse. He kind of skids and then gets back up. I don't know how they did that, but that to me was the best looking scene in the movie. And again, I don't, if that was digital work, congrats. If that was practical, I don't know how the hell they got the horse to do that without PETA or something. I don't know. I don't know how they did that scene, but I thought that was actually a pretty neat looking scene. And it's funny that the most neat looking scene is the one with the one not involving Jackie Chan. But it also tries to do goofy comedy, where there's a bit where they're escaping the bad guys, and there's this narrow alley, and Jackie's trying to push the horse through, but his hands get stuck up its ass, and then pulls out, the horse farts in his face. But then in the later half, third act of the film, it wants to be, again, this ode to stunts and his life of stunts, where him and the daughter are actually watching his Jackie's old footage. Scenes from Rumble in the Bronx. And Jackie Chan's First Strike and Police Story. And Jackie and the daughter crying while watching the footage. And then, again, him choosing your daughter or choosing to keep going with the stunts. But then it also wants to be, oh, they're going to take his horse away, and he's trying, and there's even like a little bit in a courtroom. I mean, this movie's trying to do too much, going in too many different directions, so it lacks focus, and that's why it's a little over 2 hours long. I think if it was a tighter film, a leaner film, where not as much melodrama. Well, the drama is fine, but you're really trying to be over sentimental, like Patch Adams type of, where some of that could be cut down a bit to be more subtle. If you cut that bit a bit, you cut jokes like, the horse farting in your face, cut those type of jokes. Even the stuff with the debt collectors, you didn't, I mean, that's at the beginning, something has to happen where, but you really didn't need them in it. It could have been like some kid's in trouble, him and the horse go up to save the kid, do a crazy stunt to save this kid. It gets posted online, and wow, you did that stunt to save a kid. You didn't need the debt collectors. It's there so Jackie did some action and some fighting. Because I get it. It's a Jackie Chan film. I'm sure Jackie himself's like, well, I need some action in there for the audience. I get that. But the guy's up there in age. I'm not saying that as a negative thing. It's a practical thing. We all get older. And yeah, the guy will move better than me. And even at his age, he moves better than me. I get that. But the action and the fights, other than Skip Trace, I thought Skip Trace was a nice surprise. I did quite like Skip Trace. But with the recent films, it's just age just catching up with him. You can't do it as fluid. You tell the camera cuts a bit faster. The edits a bit quicker. They're a bit, to hide some of the stuff. And they just don't have the same impact. They don't have the same punch as his stuff back in the day. And so the action scenes that Jackie's in, the little fight stuff, a little bit of rolling the table, or there's a bit where he's on this thing, and he's rolling down the stairs, he's grabbing a guy, and the other guy's being dragged down the stairs. They could be maybe kind of cute, but either there's stuff that reminds you of stuff you've seen multiple times before, or again, his slowness and age is just more shown. And then there are stunts he does with the horse. Just some of the stuff that's kind of neat is showing him on a film. Multiple films, I should say. Like there's one where he's on a horse and he's wearing a mask like Kato. There's another one where he's like an emperor, or like back to the day of China, and he got the uniform on. And like there's a bit where he's got the Kato mask and it's showing like the film within the film, and how the horse is like using his legs to kick people back, his hind legs to kick other people back. Like that was kind of fun to see. Like I said, the horse I thought was the big star for me. Like my favorite part of the movie was the horse. But there are times, obviously for safety reasons, where they're doing these big stunts, and you can tell CGI, a lot of CG is used. Like obviously these big jumps, horse, you don't want to take the chance the horse would get hurt, but you can tell like CG is being used because it's the backdrop, and or there are points where like a horse is like skidding a 180, and you tell some digital manipulation. But especially like these big jumps, and it's like for a movie that's supposed to be an ode to stuntmen, the fact that some of these stunts are being used with CG just kind of, I don't want to say completely defeats the purpose, but it's like, I mean, hell, I thought The Fall Guy did a better job with that came out this year. About, ode to stuntmen. Like, honestly, an ode to stunt, like, The Fall Guy was more fun, more entertaining. I felt more of an ode to stuntmen in that movie, without being so lacking of focus. But yeah, The Fall Guy I thought was fun. This one, if it didn't try to do too many things. Like there's even bits like he's trying to teach his daughter's fiance, and there's like a bit where he steered the horse, and Jetty's, oh, here's a boxing glove, and the guy silly hits the horse, and then he's steered. He's, oh, I'm sorry, horse. Like some of this could work. Some of this does work okay. But if I want to be okay, to me the ultimate movie that's an ode to stuntmen is Hooper with Burt Reynolds. That to me is my favorite of a movie that's about stuntmen. Hooper's my favorite with Burt Reynolds. I kind of wish they had watched Hooper for inspiration. Because Burt Reynolds is aging. There's even a scene where he's looking back at his old footage, and they show footage of Deliverance and other stuff. And you get this young up-and-comer, Jan Michael Vincent, and they do some crazy stunts, and they do this crazy car jump, which that will be the last Burt Reynolds character retires. And he punches the director in the face. Like, I kind of wish this film was more like Hooper in that element. Take out the debt collector stuff. Take out trying to train the fiance, or fiance, his daughter's fiance. The whole third act where they're trying to take the horse away, and there's a bit where the horse trying to get the Jatty, and Jatty crying. Just have it be an ode to stuntmen. Like, the actual end of the film should be, he's doing he's on the horse and he's doing this ride. I think he's kind of visualizing himself as if he's really back there, and he's listening to like what his daughters told him, the close calls his horse went through in stunts, and he went through in stunts. And his daughter's saying, how long are you going to go on with this? And Jackie, like his face kind of realizing, like, wait a minute, do I really want to do this crazy jump? This to hurt myself, this to hurt my horse, who I have a bond with. Then he stops, but then he flips over, and this is where he quits. That is really the end of the movie. But then it goes on for like 20 minutes more, where the CEO of the studio takes the horse away, and then the daughter appealed to him, and then the CEO's like, yeah, you know what? Here you go, Jackie. Here's the horse. It's just like, stop it! Like, you don't need all this. To me, he's ostracized from his daughter, okay. The thing with his horse, they save a kid, they do a stunt, where maybe like the horse does some crazy jumps for stunts, then Jackie does some stuff to save the kid, and they both, then that gets uploaded. I hate to say this, you did not need fights with Jackie in this. Because it's supposed to be an ode to stuntman, not him as a fighter. You didn't need fight scenes in this movie. Now, within the film, like there's a bit where he's doing a fight scene, then he takes his big flip stunt onto a table. That's when the fight should come in. And really get into the movie making, because this is a guy he started as a stuntman. He's lived his life as an actor and a stuntman. A lot of like the behind the scenes of how these things work. Like he's on a project and how they think of action and dialogue with others. Like, okay, we think of this. Oh, let's use this. Oh, maybe not that. Maybe let's use this. Let's really pick the brain of Jackie of how he makes these stunts work, or for the movie within the movie, these fights and how you do it. So as Jackie kind of be himself, but he's also this character as well, but showing a lot of his behind the scenes knowledge. Really make that be a part of the movie. And that should be the focus as his ode to stuntmen. But it's like, it wants to be that, but it wants to be this animal, Lassie, Old Yeller, some other thing. Then it wants to be, oh, let's have Jackie do some actual fighting, some debt collectors. Just it tries to be too much. So I think it's a bit cluttered with that. But I think there's enough moments where his heart is in the right place. Where I think Jati, at times, a bit too much of the, a bit too much of the trying. Because when you do too much of it, it loses its effectiveness. And I think there's certain moments, a bit more subtle, that you could incorporate that in. I think they went to the well to that too many times in this film. The fight scenes I don't think were memorable. At times they get very, very overly sentimental. I think like there's sentimentality there that's genuine that could be pried out with the stuntman and how much more CGI is being used and stuntman is the way of the dinosaur. I think a lot of that could be really implemented into the film. I mean, there's a part of me that says that do that film without the horse, but you'd even keep the horse and that's fine. I guess some of that is like there's a bit where him and the horse kind of fly off with wires, and I'm like, how did they do that with the horse? Did they really put wires on the horse and let it fly back? Like that stuff was kind of maybe don't how they do that. Like so, there's a couple ones of that that's like, huh. I'm sure other stuff like digital manipulation, but some of it's literally done practical. But there's the obvious big jumps that are done with digital and takes you out a little bit of a movie that's supposed to be owed to the practicality of stuntmen, but that's what I mean. There's enough little decent moments in there to make it worth the watch as a Jackie Chan fan. I said that the horse for me was the star of the movie. There's some nice moments Jackie has with it, but it's also weird because this is about Jackie getting with his estranged daughter, and if you know Jackie Chan, he does have a kid, I believe it's a daughter, that he wants nothing to do with. Let me see if I get the... I just want to make sure I get my facts straight. He does have an estranged daughter. And it's kind of weird that the movie is about that. Oh wow, this even talks about that. Oh, some people actually took a clip from this movie and they thought it was Jackie with his actual daughter. Wow. Jackie Chan disowned his real daughter in 2017 for being a lesbian. She and her wife have been experiencing homelessness since Jackie Chan's worth $400 million. Is he really worth that much? He actually disowned her before she was even born. Been married to Joan Lynn since 1982, but was caught in a scandal in 1999 when he admitted to having an affair with a beauty queen who was 19 years his junior. He confirmed that Elaine was pregnant with his child and said in press conference, "I'm not a saint. I've done something wrong. I've done something that many men in the world have done. Maybe it was a moment of playfulness." In his 2015 memoir, the star said that after apologizing profusely to his wife and their son, JC, his infidelity was never mentioned again. Jackie cut off contact with Elaine as soon as he learned about her pregnancy, and it is believed that he has never met his daughter nor offered any financial assistance in her upbringing. The daughter says, "He is my biological father, but he is not in my life. He never existed in my life. I will never regard him as a father. As long as I have my mother with me, I don't need my father." Hmm. Hmm. Man, there's a lot of stuff to this I didn't realize. Now it's talking about the father-son relationship where his son was arrested in jail for possession and distribution of weed for accommodating drug users. He served 6 months behind bars in a state prison. They're reconciled. His son will not be inheriting any of his wealth after his death. If he is capable, he can make his own money. If not, then he'll be wasting my money. And that's the thing, is that when you know a bit of that, it's like kind of weird that this movie's about an estranged daughter, and then you guys getting back together when you had a daughter, but because you cheated, you didn't want to fucking deal with her, which that's your responsibility, and you got enough money. Now, granted, it's a bit two-faced of her to say, I don't need his money, then later on go, why don't he give us money when she gets married to another lady? But it's like, it's like, okay, well, which is it? You don't need his money or you want his money? But at the same time, I'm sure there's a bit of, if your parent abandoned you and wanted to think you don't exist, then, I mean, there'd probably be a part that's like, fuck him, I'm going to see if I get some money out of him, since he won't be a dick about it. You may say that's pithy, but I mean, I can understand that. May not be the right thing to do, but I can understand that sentiment. To be pissed at the... So, I mean, stuff like that, it's like a lot. It's like Arnold. But Arnold, at least, I'll deal with Schwarzenegger. He did cheat on his wife with the maid and had the kid, but at least he acknowledges the kid and is still part. He was in the documentary for Arnold. He was in that, and he still keeps in touch with them and stuff of that nature. So at least Arnold didn't abandon. He may be dumbass for saying screw your freedom, but at least he didn't do that to that kid. So I can appreciate that. Jackie, on the other hand, he's an asshole for that, to be honest. He's an asshole. So that's a bit weird seeing it, because I knew a little bit of it, but this is his memoirs and stuff out there. I'm not making it up. I'm not making the shit up, folks. And some people may get mad. You kids talked about Jackie that way. I've never worship any actors or celebrities, because they are people that make mistakes just like me and you. I'm a big Sylvester Stallone fan, but I'm not going to worship him, and if he did stuff, then I don't appreciate that. And if he were to do stuff or had done stuff, I'm not going to give him a pass, because I love a lot of his movies. Same with anybody else. But sorry, I went on a but that's what I mean, like, this whole with him and the daughter, it was a bit weird to see that, knowing what I know, and then kind of he's playing a stuntman, so kind of a form of himself, just without, with no horse. So that was a bit weird too, if that made sense to people. But I mean, it was okay to watch. Like I said, some of the stuff with the horse, some of the scenes with it, some of the bits where he's on a movie set, and some directors are giving him a hard time, and it's kind of the talking about the age and are you too old for this type of mentality and sentiment. Those conversations about that. Jackie doesn't do a bad job acting in the film. But it's a film I would never watch again. I mean, I think I saw Was it Vanguard I saw? I know I've seen some newer Jackie Chan films and I wasn't a fan of it. Was it Vanguard that I saw? Yes, it was. From Yule, which, if you ever see Yule, I hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I've heard from you. I liked it better than Vanguard. I liked it better than some of that stuff. Let's see. What are their Jackie Chan films? I mean, I liked it better than Island of Fire. I liked it better than Shinjuku Incident. I'm not a fan of that movie. But Skip Trace was fun. Anyway. Take that for you will. Yeah, some of these I had that lame microphone, so some of these I would like to redo one day. Well, who knows? Maybe someone will request them. Who knows? But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks once again to Devon. I thought this was an okay film. If you're a Jackie Chan fan, there's definitely some stuff a merit to watch. Like I said, it's a bit overlong, goes a bit all over the place. I'm not saying you'll love it, but hell, you may get more out of it than me. It's far, far, far from his worst, especially with some of his newer films lately. Like I said, Skip Trace I liked a lot more, but I like this more than Vanguard, so I'll give you that. Wasn't what he did with was it a tiger or something? Or a lion? Like a CG lion or something? Yoga? Kung Fu Yoga or something? I don't think I ever saw that. But that looked awful. I didn't see that, right? Yes, I did. I saw it. It was so memorable, I forgot it. I saw it 6 years ago. But I don't remember a damn thing about it, other than my face says it all. I still didn't see that. I know I didn't see that John Cena one. Because that looked like dog shit, so. I know I didn't see that. So I know this is better than Kung Fu Yoga based on my face on the thumbnail. I'd have to rewatch that film to know what the hell happened in it. So there you go. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.